Welcome you all to the learning platform created by Pandipitiya Dharmapala Vidyalaya. This session will be based on the subject Business Studies, and we will be discussing a revision question which is very similar to the first question in 2019 Business Studies paper part 2. Now, as you may already know that the first question is a case study, and there will be 5 questions, each carrying 4 marks, and that must be answered referring to the case given. In 2019, the entire question was based on the first lesson. Accordingly, the case we are discussing today is also prepared in similar format. Normally, students do not like to select that question thinking it is difficult. But actually it is not. Only thing is you have to read the case properly and find out examples from the case relevant to the questions asked that match with the theories learnt in the classroom. Also, do remember to use the terms and theories in the subject. Not only in answering the questions based on a case study, but also in answering any question in business studies paper. Right, now let's move on to the case. Here you can see it, and if I brief this case, it is about a business called Samadhi Private Limited, and owner is Samadhi. The product of that business is women and children dresses. She has a shop, and the business experienced continuous growth in sales over past years. And now Samadhi is thinking about developing online platform to sell her dresses. So that is the case in brief. So you can read it here. Now after reading the case once, then you can go to the questions and then find the answers, find examples to write the answers for the questions from the case. We will look at the part A of the question number 1, which will give 2 marks. The question is, explain the 2 main activities of above business. Now, as we know, there are mainly 2 business activities for any business. Those are fulfillment of needs and wants and adding value to the resources. So, though the question asked the activities of above business, the question asks about those activities which are common to any business. Only thing you have to do is relate that with the case given. Now as a help, I have explained that here. So first point is explained as the business fulfill the need of clothes by providing the want women and children dresses. Adding value to the resources. Second one, that means in the production process when resources are changing to create a final product, at each stage of that process that add value to the resources. So that has to be explained here. Combining different raw materials, dresses are designed and sold which adds value to the resources through changing the nature of raw materials in the production process. It is enough because this is for 2 marks. No need of large explanations. Very briefly, you can tell what is needed. So the marks will be given here. 1 mark for mentioning the 2 activities and other mark for the explanation. You have to remember that answering this kind of questions, please mention the points and the explanation separately because the marks are offered for the explanation and point separately. I told that here because some students get that wrong and some write only the explanation and some only the point. So both are needed and clearly separate that too. Then the part B of the question. Explain 2 features of business based on the given case. That is also like the first question. Commonly in any business there will be common features like exchange or selling take place, has a risk motivated by profits and economic activity, create wants. So among those points, just select 2 facts which you can explain easily. Then write the answer. Now as examples I have given 2 here. Exchange or selling take place. Now in this business that sells dresses for a monetary value through the shop, and those dresses are sold for sale, not for private use. Now an activity to be a business, though the products have to be sold in the marketplace. Those should be exchanged, not for the private use. That means not for the use at a home. They should be sold for other parties. So that has to be explained here. Then the next point I have explained is creating wants. Now you know needs are the essential things for the survival, and wants are different ways of satisfying that need. Now here the want provided by the Samadhi's business is dresses. So that is explained. Samadhi's business produces women and children dresses, which is the want created. Raw materials are turned to finished good to satisfy wants. So here also the marks are given as 1 mark for the points and 1 mark for the explanations. Then in the second question, part A, write 4 reasons that may have caused the continuous growth in sales of this business. Now this kind of a question can be answered with the knowledge you gain from all the lessons actually. It simply asks the successful business practices that will help for the growth of the sales. So, and also you can think if you are a customer, what will be the things in a business that will attract you to them. So those points can be listed down here. Only 4 is enough. Some are reasonable prices, quality products, following new trends, good advertising practices, innovative products, and good customer service. 2 marks will be given for 4 reasons. Then the part B, mention a noticeable new trend in business field mentioned in the case and write 3 reasons for its popularity. Now here, as you know, there are several trends that we have discussed in the classroom. What are those? Globalization, electronic business, electronic money, concern on environment, concern on business social responsibility, consumer awareness. So those are new trend in the business field. And what is the trend related here? That is the emergence of e-commerce. Because in that case it has said that Samadhi is thinking about going on online platform. So we can identify here the trend as emergence of e-commerce, which will give you half marks. Then I have to write 3 reasons for its popularity. It asks about the reasons for the popularity, not the benefits. So you can not only the benefit. So when answering that, you can write the benefit as well, but it does not necessarily need to write about the benefits only. So some of the reasons I have mentioned: speeding up of business activities due to using online businesses, then minimizing operational cost and inventory cost, because there is no need to have a large stock in factories or large stock in showrooms, and no need to maintain attractive shops. So there are those kind of benefits. Then increasing computer literacy, also a reason to go for e-commerce. Then saving customers time and energy. So only 3 is enough, which will also give half mark each. Right. Now let's talk about the third question. That is also had two parts. Part A asks about explain the concept of market, providing examples from above case. Now you know what is the market is. That is any situation where buyers and sellers meet or connect. So here you have to explain, you have to define not only the market. We know that there are two types of market now we can identify. Those are the marketplace and market space. So you have to provide examples from the case for that. So here the marketplace, what is the marketplace? That is the market with physical existence. We can see that. So the example that is the Samadhi's shop in Colombo. Then market space, that means the market without physical existence, and that is the intended online platform to sell dresses. Right. Now if you write these few points, then you can get 2 marks for that. Part B, mention 2 stakeholders of this business and 1 reason for their interest over the business. Now actually this is a very easy question because it asks about mention 2 stakeholders of this business, but that's not a problem because as the first question there are common stakeholders for any business, so you can write those points here for answering this question. Now, who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are the parties that affect and be affected by the management actions or policies or organizational activities. They have interest over the business as well as business also has a contribution due to those stakeholders. So in the case, clearly mention about 2 stakeholders. Those are owner and the employees. Also you can write about the customers, sometimes the government, it's okay. Now here you have to mention 2 stakeholders and also 1 reason for their interest over the business. Why they are interested on the business. So owner here is Samadhi. To know whether adequate profit is received, to find out the growth of the business. Then employees to obtain good salary, to get promotions, to have the job security. So those may be their interest over the business. So in this kind of question also you have to be careful because now here it asks about interest over the business, but in some questions, in certain occasions, it may ask why businesses interest over the stakeholders. Why stakeholders are important for a business. So when answering, read the question properly. Right. The 4th question. Explain the business process of Samadhi's business using a diagram. It gives 4 marks. About the business process. Now, when you ask about the business process, you have to focus on all the business functions, be administration, marketing, human resources, finance, accounting, all the things. And if you ask about the production process, that talk about the process of changing raw materials into the final product. That is in the lesson operations management. Here ask about the business process. Now as you know, there are 3 elements in the business process. Those are input, process and output. What are the inputs of a business? Land, employees, entrepreneurship, information, all the resources that are used for the business to create the final output. Now when answering this question, it is better that if you can provide at least 1 example for each type of input, for each type of processes or maybe functions. At least provide 1 example as shown here. Now if we write the land, you can write an example, land where Samadhi's business is situated, and labor, employee with the diploma. Capital may be machines, other tools, buildings. Likewise, you can write the examples. So input is their process, and then under process, administration. Here also you can give one example at least. Preparing employee file. Operations, purchasing materials, production activities, then marketing, pricing, distribution, advertising, then human resources activities, recruiting, selecting, payroll, pay management. Likewise, examples can be given. Then the output, we know that is the women's and children dresses. Actually, this is also a easy question because normally in any when we are writing the business process for any business, this output will be the only element that will be changed. You can write these factors commonly by having a small differences. So this is also a easy question. So you will be offered 4 marks if you draw the diagram like this. Then the last question. Last question also has 2 parts. First one, part A. Samadhi did a SWOT analysis. Name one strength and an opportunity that she may have identified through this, and mention how those can be used for the development of the business. Samadhi did a SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis? That is the analytical tool used to analyze the business environment, business external environment and internal environment. And when you analyze the internal environment, you can identify strength and weaknesses. Strength means the favorable factors inside the business. Weaknesses means the unfavorable factors inside the business. And when you analyze the external environment, that is the task environment and the macro environment. Task environment, examples for the factors in task environment may be customers, suppliers. Then in the macro environment, the festive factors, that means political environment, economic environment, demographic environment, likewise. So by analyzing the external environment, you can identify the opportunities. That means the favorable factors that will be given by the external environment, and threats. That means the unfavorable factors within the external environment. So here you are asked about one strength and an opportunity. So strength have been clearly mentioned in the case. That is, one is Samadhi's knowledge achieved through the degree, and the other one is the employee with the diploma in fashion designing. So you can write one of that. I have select here Samadhi's knowledge achieved through the degree on entrepreneurship. So owner is the internal factor, and her knowledge on businesses is a favorable factor. So that becomes a strength. Again, it asks about how those can be used for the development. So her knowledge can be used to generate new products appropriately by analyzing new trends, because she has a degree in entrepreneurship. So that knowledge can be used to identify the trends in the business environment, and use those trends to develop new products. Innovations can be done, and can use different methods to attract customers. So one can be explained briefly. And an opportunity, that also has been given in the case. You can find that through the case as well, because it asks only about one opportunity. So tendency of people to use internet for buying. So that is coming from the, we can say, from demographic environment. So most of the people today using internet to do their business activities, to do their transaction. So that is an opportunity where, using that trend, she can develop the online platform, having a user-friendly website, user-friendly, attractive interface. So that can be write as how that opportunity can be used for the development. So here a strength and the opportunity will be given 1 mark, and for the explanation about how they can be used for the development will be given 1 mark. The last question, explain how Samadhi's business can contribute to the existence of Sri Lankan economy. Again, this is a very easy question because those factors are common for any business, not only for Samadhi's business, though is asked about how Samadhi's business can contribute. So, what are the contribution of business for the existence of economy? Generating employment opportunities, people, satisfying the wants which are complex and changing, and then contributing to the national economic development by contributing to gross domestic product. So doing innovation. So those are the ways how a business can contribute to the survival of a economy. Now after going through this question, I think you can identify how easy it is answering questions for questions of a case study. It is just matching the theory and then matching the theory with the examples given in the case, so that is not a difficult task. So I think we have discussed those 5 questions based on that case. Now you may have gained an understanding of writing answers to case-based questions. So you can practice the 2009 case in the 2019 paper and revise your knowledge on this matter. Right. Now next video we will meet with another revision questions on business study. Good luck and thank you.